गुड आफ्टरनून बच्चों, आज आपको बताएंगे डिस्क्रीट एनालाइजर्स के बारे में। These auto analyzers perform all the functions of a semi auto analyzer, and in addition to that they also perform following addition functions। कुछ चीज़ें जो सेमी ऑटो एनालाइजर करता है वो इसमें वो कुछ ज़्यादा फैसिलिटीज़ होती हैं, इसीलिए इनको नाम दिया गया डिस्क्रीट फुल्ली ऑटोमेटेड एनालाइजर्स का। Automatic dispensing of the reagents by means of a reagent probe. Automatic dispensing of the samples arranged on a sampler by means of a specimen probe. Automatic mixing of reaction mixtures. Incubation of reaction mixtures. And these analyzers are equipped with the following additional features. A sampler to accommodate various samples, standards, calibrators and quality control serum. A programmable sample probe which identifies the sample and pipette sample volume as low as 3 micron liters to 30 micron liters with high precision. The sample probes are provided with level sensors to detect the level of the samples. कभी भी किसी की वक्त हम हमारी रिएजेंट बॉटल में कितना रिएजेंट बचा है वो उसका डिटेक्शन हम मशीन पर उसके मॉनिटर पर हम देख सकते हैं। Reagent probes for pipetting of the reagents. These are also equipped with level sensors and dynamic reagent monitoring, which keeps the operator continuously informed on residual reagent volumes at any point of time. A reagent carousel is there which accommodates various reagent containers. Conveniently located peristaltic pumps, syringe, water and waste bottles with level sensors for easy accessibility and maintenance. Reusable reaction cells in convenient configuration positions. Programmable wash cycles between samples and the tests for minimum carryover. A cuvette rinsing station is there for the advanced versions of fully automatic analyzers, offering the facility to clean each cuvette with detergent and deionized water before use. मशीन के अंदर ही क्यूवेट धुल जाएगा और सूख के रीटेस्ट के लिए फिर से तैयार हो जाएगा, हमको उसको वापस यूज बाहर से अलग से धोना नहीं पड़ेगा। This ensures excellent precision and reliability of the results. The fully automated analyzers are further of two types, batch analyzers and random access analyzers. बैच एनालाइजर्स में पहले भी आपको बताया था, एक ही प्रकार का टेस्ट उस पर संभव था, एक रिएजेंट ही उस पर संभव है और उसी के एक प्रकार के टेस्ट ग्लूकोज यदि हम कर रहे हैं तो 10, 20, 30 जितने भी सैंपल हैं पहले हमको ग्लूकोज का करना पड़ेगा, उसके पश्चात जो दूसरा टेस्ट है उसके लिए हमको मशीन को रीप्रोग्राम फिर से करना पड़ेगा, इसीलिए अभी ज़्यादा यूज़ में नहीं होते हैं। बैच एनालाइजर्स अब ज़्यादातर कहीं भी यूज़ नहीं होते हैं, आउटडेटेड हो चुके हैं। Now coming on to the random access analyzers. These analyzers perform all the functions of a batch analyzer, and in addition to that they are equipped with random access mode for completing all tests on one sample before proceeding to the next sample. A sample orientation mode for completing the greatest number of samples in the shortest period of time, that may be 120 to 800 per hour। 120 से 800 सैंपल्स एक घंटे में इस पर संभव थी उनकी जांचें। A sequential mode for processing one type of a sample at one time. Compared to the batch analyzers, the random access analyzers are equipped with following additional facilities. A cuvette disk with temperature control 30 degrees, 37 degrees Celsius and automatic multi-stage cleaning system. A reagent table with capacity for single or double reagent container and facility for low temperature, that is 8 to 15 degrees Celsius, to preserve the stability of the reagents. A level sensor is there for the samples and the reagents. A sample rack system is there, individual racks for samples, controls, calibrators and the quality control serum. A barcode identification of the samples and reagents is also there. Facility for continuous loading of the samples, facility for auto dilution, plotting of daily and monthly quality control charts such as Levy-Jennings or QSUM charts, availability of optional ion selective electrodes, that is the ISE module, for the determination of sodium, potassium and chloride ions, etc. A capability to perform 2 to 3 reagent tests. 2 से 3 प्रकार के अलग अलग मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनीज के रिएजेंट्स हम उस मशीन पर प्रोग्राम करके रख सकते हैं. Some common examples of random access analyzers are the Hitachi 704 and the Hitachi 714, Erba XL 600, Abbott Spectrum, Kodak Express 550, Kodak Dry Chemistry Analyzers, Erba Stat 919 and Erba Smart Lab. These are some commonly used autoanalyzers in usually all the labs. The main component systems of a fully automated system analyzers are specimen identification. A bar-coded label is placed on the specimen container and it is read subsequently by one or more barcode readers that have been placed at key positions in the analytical pathway. The resultant identification information is then transferred to and processed by the system software. By using this method of specimen identification, the error rate can be reduced to 1 to 300 characters or 1 to 1 million characters. By using barcode identification at a patient's bedside, it is possible to get greater integrity of the identity of a specimen in an autoanalyzer. Then comes the next part of the component steps, that is specimen preparation, handling and the delivery. Adequate quantity of blood is collected and then it is separated, and after centrifugation the tubes are placed in the sample carousel. Since the specimen probe is equipped with level sensors, the required amounts of serum can be pipetted automatically. The use of level sensors restricts the penetration of the sample probes into the specimen and provides smoother motion control and eliminates spatter. Disposable specimen cups are used, which are made up of glass and polyvinyl. Their shapes are such that even without a cup, little evaporation occurs. The specimens are advanced into the analyzer at a uniform rate. The design of the device for holding the specimens is often specific for a specific instrument. It may be in the form of a tray, rack or a chain. The carryover between the specimens is reduced considerably by setting an adequate flush to specimen ratio and by incorporating wash stations for the sample probe. Carryover has been reduced in some systems by flushing the internal and external surfaces of the sample probe with copious amounts of diluents. The reagent handling, storage and identification and delivery. Liquid reagents stored in plastic or glass containers are used in most automated systems. Although for most of the tests, single reagent monostep method is used, 2 or more reagents may be required for some tests. In larger automated systems such as Hitachi 747, the reagents are stored in separate compartments, maintained at 4 degrees Celsius to about 10 degrees Celsius. The reagents prepared manually or by automated reconstitution from the dry tablet or lyophilized powder are stable after reconstitution for 2 to 8 days when stored at 4 to 8 degrees Celsius. The labels on the reagent container include information such as reagent identification, volume of the content, expiry date and lot number. Many reagent containers carry barcodes that contain most of this information. When a barcode reader is coupled with a level sensing system on the reagent probe, it alerts the operator about the quantity of the reagent in the container. The liquid reagents are taken up and delivered to mixing and reaction cups or cuvettes by pumps, via tubes, or by positive displacement syringe devices. The syringe devices are commonly used in many automated systems for both reagent and sample delivery. The reagent probes are washed and flushed if more than one reagent is used to prevent the reagent carryover. Now comes the mixing, incubating and reading. The mixing of the specimen and the reagent takes place in specific cells, which are also used as thermocuvettes. Various techniques used to mix the reactants include forceful dispensing, magnetic stirring using a vibrating rod, rotating pedal, and the use of ultrasonic energy. For incubation, the analysis compartment is placed in a large air bath or water bath heated to about 30 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius. The cuvettes are transparent in the spectral range of interest. The use of disposable cuvettes eliminates carryover. The reaction vessels are also reused in many instruments after appropriate washing. The cuvettes are washed in acid and alkaline solutions and then rinsed in deionized water and dried by vacuum or pressurized air. Optical clarity of these cuvettes is verified automatically. Now coming on to the measurement devices. For the measurement of the end results, principles are used which are based on the following techniques such as photometry or spectrophotometry or reflectance photometry, turbidimetry or nephelometry, and ion selective ISE or other electrochemical techniques. For photometric and spectrophotometric readings, three basic components are required: a radiant energy source, a means of spectral isolation, and a detector. The radiant energy sources used are tungsten, quartz, halogen, deuterium, mercury, xenon, and laser sources. The spectral isolation is achieved with interference filters. In several multi-test analyzers, the required filters are mounted in a filter wheel and the appropriate filter is moved into the place under the command of a microprocessor. Monochromators with movable gratings and slits provide a continuous choice of wavelengths. The photodiodes and photomultiplier tubes are used as detectors in most of the automated systems. For each measured analyte, the microprocessor chooses the appropriate pair of wavelengths that have been previously defined for the biochromatic readings. That is, these readings are noted at two different wavelengths. This eliminates the interference due to hemolysis, turbidity, or due to high bilirubin concentration. The perpendicular light path is maintained through the reaction cells or the cuvettes by accurate alignment of the lenses and the light guides. The reaction cells and the cuvettes are transported past the light beam in a uniform manner, and in the case of reflectance photometry, diffuse reflected light is measured. In the case of turbidimetry and nephelometry, the light transmitted by the turbidity produced by the reaction between the reagent and the sample is measured. These techniques are used for the determination of various proteins and antibodies in the sample. The combination of components incorporated into an automated analyzer is generally appropriate to the intended throughput, precision, and the range of wavelengths and cost of the instrument. Ion selective methodology is used by many autoanalyzers for the determination of sodium, potassium, chlorides, and lithium. Peristaltic pumps are used to move the sample into chambers containing fixed sample and reference electrodes. The specimen remains in contact with the electrodes for sufficiently long times, 7 to 45 seconds, to reach a steady state conditions. Now comes the next part, that is the signal processing, handling of the data and control of the microprocessors. The digital computer in automated systems converts analog signals from detectors to digital form by analog to digital converters. The computers then process the digital data by means of algorithms immediately into useful output. The microprocessors perform following various functions. All electromechanical operations are performed uniformly, repeatedly, and in a correct sequence. These include transfer of the solutions, placement of proper filters for bichromatic or multichromatic readings, regulation and change in the speed of rotation of the carousels. In addition to these functions, the microprocessor also controls the functions such as result calculations and result reporting by means of digital displays and by printing. The microprocessors acquire, process, access and store the operational data from the analyzers. They also react to improper functions by recording the site and nature of the malfunction. Important communication interactions related to troubleshooting are made possible by microprocessors. The signals may instruct the operator to intervene to replenish the reagent supply or to empty the waste containers or reading the operational problems. The output data tested against preset criteria can be flagged and displayed for operators evaluation and judgment. मशीन के डिस्प्ले मॉनिटर पर जो भी मशीन के अंदर खराबी आ रही है, टेक्निकल खराबी हो, उसका खराबी का पूरा ब्यौरा मशीन के मॉनिटर पर डिस्प्ले हो जाएगा और जब तक ऑपरेटर या जो लैब टेक्नीशियन उसको हैंडल कर रहा है उसको सही नहीं कर देता है तब तक वो फ्लैग करता रहेगा. Such information implies that linearity of reaction has been exceeded, a reaction is non-linear, a substrate exhaustion has occurred, absorbance of the end product is very high, and the absorbance of the end product might be very low also. Baseline drift is excessive. The microprocessors can take command from the operator through the keyboard or a touch-sensitive screen, and these commands may program timing intervals of a kinetic reaction, temperature set point, calibration concentration, format of the printed output, and quality control charts such as Levy-Jennings or QSUM charts. Some autoanalyzers, which are based on immunoassay techniques, perform the test orders downloaded from a host computer or entered directly through the system control center. The samples, reagent packs and consumables are loaded into the sampling center. The major components of the sampling center can be divided into following groups: a sample carousel, a reagent pack carousel, a reaction vessel carousel, pipetting system, barcode readers, sample barcode reader, and a reagent pack barcode reader. A sample cup segment holds the patient samples, calibrators, and the controls. A sampling pipette is used to aspirate, dispense, detect, and transport sample and reagents into the reaction vessel. There are two barcode readers in the sampling system. When a sample arrives at the sampling pipetting station, the sample is identified. The system checks the order list to determine the test to be run on the sample. The system verifies adequate reagent and consumable inventories before each test is performed. The pipette transfer sample and the reagents to the reaction vessel for the requested test, and finally the reaction vessel is transferred into the thermally controlled processing center. The activities of the processing center are precisely regulated by the software. Microparticle enzyme immunoassay reactions are initiated on the processing carousel. A matrix cell is required to complete the assay sequence. Microparticle enzyme immunoassays, wash steps, substrate reactions, and the optical readings occur on the matrix cells. The matrix cell delivery system is a specially designed system that loads and unloads the matrix cells and the microparticle enzyme immunoassay optical standard from the matrix cell carousel. When the tests are completed, consumables are automatically ejected into the consumable waste container and the results can be printed and released to host computer and further stored. The main microparticle enzyme immunoassay sequences are that the sample, microparticle and conjugate are combined in the incubation well of the reaction vessel. During the incubation period, analytes bind to the microparticle, creating an immune complex. The processing probe aspirates the reaction mixture from the incubation well of the reaction vessel and dispenses it into the matrix cell. The immune complex binds irreversibly to the glass fiber matrix. A matrix cell wash removes the unbound materials. The immune complex is retained by the glass fibers while the excess reaction mixture flows rapidly through the large pores to the matrix. The processing probe transfers alkaline phosphatase labeled conjugate from a reagent well into the reaction vessel to the matrix cell. The conjugate binds to the immune complex to complete the antibody analyte conjugate sandwich and then the matrix is washed again. This dispenser adds 4-methyl amblyferrine phosphate to the matrix cell. The alkaline phosphatase catalyzes the hydrolysis of 4-methyl amblyferrone and the rate of methyl amblyferrone generation is proportional to the analyte concentration and is measured by the microparticle enzyme immunoassay optics. Now coming on to some other various random access analyzers. Firstly, it is Hitachi 704 that is usually found in many labs nowadays. In the case of this analyzer, only the tests requested for each sample are selected and the urgent samples can be given priority over the routine samples at any point. There is ion selective electrode option for sodium, potassium and chlorides. Only 20 ml of the reagent is required to analyze 50 samples and the new pipetting system brings the reagent up to the assay temperature. The analyzer also measures the isoteric, hemolytic and lipemic indexes so that the results are not affected by such specimens. The system has been designed for easy operations and after loading of the sample on the sample turntable, it is programmed for the requested test. The microcomputer does rest of the tests. The working stages are as follows. The routine samples, that is stat samples, standards and controls are loaded on the sample disk. The sampling probe aspirates the samples and discharges in each reaction tube on the reaction disk. The sample probe discharges the specified amount of serum into the reaction tube for the analysis of the next test. The probe is washed completely before aspirating to the next sample. The reagent pipetting unit picks up the required amount of reagent from its bottle in the refrigerated reagent probe. The reagent is heated in the pipette so the specified incubation temperatures and then discharged into the reaction tube containing the serum sample. Absorbances are measured directly in the reaction tubes at 2 wavelengths. The disc holding the reaction tube rotates so that each tube crosses the optical path of the spectrophotometer. Measurements are taken at 20 seconds interval over a period of over 10 minutes. It is necessary that a second reagent may be added to the reaction mixture during this time. The photometric readings enable measurements to be made on the reaction volumes as low as 0.30 μl. The analyzer is performing endpoint assays with a reaction time of up to 10 minutes. Kinetic assays are performed up to 7 minutes. After each sample has been measured, its reaction tube is thoroughly washed with distilled water. The analytical parameters can be introduced as well as from the keyboard. Now coming on to the next machine, that is the Hitachi 717. It has been designed as a fully selective discrete multi-analyzer system. Out of one sample, 35 different chemistries can be run at one time and 54 tests can be programmed. The basic analytical unit of Hitachi 717 consists of a sample disk, sampling mechanism, barcode reader, reagent disk, reagent pipetting mechanism, stirring and washing unit, reaction disk and a photometer, and also optional ion selective electrodes. The basic working stages of this type of analyzer is that the sample disk has 60 positions for routine samples, near about 60, and 50 positions for stat samples, calibrators, controls, and the washed solutions. The individual reagents are pipetted directly into the plastic reaction cuvettes. The reagent volume is maximum up to 350 ml. The reagents can be automatically pre-diluted. 32 reagents can be placed on the reagent disc. The sampling probe aspirates any volume between 3 to 20 ml and pipettes it into a reaction cuvette on the reaction disc. After sampling, the probe is washed from inside to outside. An integrated barcode reader takes care of randomized sample setting. The serum is completely mixed with reagent addition. The stirring rod is then washed with distilled water in the rinse bath. The wash unit also adds and disposes the distilled water used for the cell blank measurements. After the sample probe discharges the specified amount of the serum into the reaction cuvette, the reaction disc rotates half a turn plus 1 from the cuvette. The maximum incubation time is 10 minutes. During this time, up to 50 readings can be taken. The incubation temperature can be adjusted from 25, 30 or 37 degrees Celsius. After incubation, the readings are recorded mono or bichromatically by a diffraction grating photometer with 12 fixed wavelengths. The data management unit consists of a cathode ray tube. It supports many data processing functions and is capable of graphically displaying a variety of quality control diagrams and the reaction curves. The control panel has tests requested for each sample and they can be selected via test item keys. The keyboard is equipped with pictorial symbols and color codes. The printer has a unit printout with analytical data at a speed of 220 characters per second. 30 characters are printed per line on a 10-inch white printer paper. The patient reports, calibration curves, quality control charts, and the reaction types are also plotted. Now coming on to the next type, that is the centrifugal analyzers. These are featured as having the advantages of low maintenance with low sample and reagent consumption and low cost per test ratio. The greatest assets are centered on the variety of methodologies available and their flexibility and the speed of analysis. The system operation is that the samples are loaded along with the reagents into a transfer disk. The transfer disk is installed in the rotor assembly. The appropriate program cartridge is inserted into the tape reader. The tape reader reads the test program and test parameters into the computer. A computer operator dialog then occurs, at the conclusion of which the computer initiates the reaction run. Upon computer command, the rotor is accelerated, causing each sample and its respective reagents to be transferred by centrifugal force into the reaction cuvette. After the rotor reaches a running speed, a vacuum is applied to the cuvettes to facilitate mixing. A light beam passes through each cuvette and once each revolution has occurred, the filtered light beam is detected and statistical calculations of sample results and cuvette absorbances are monitored, calculated and sent to the printer via the computer. The automated system centrifugal analyzers automatically loads samples, controls and calibrators into 40 position reusable rotor. The rotor is then placed into the analyzer and the ASCA loader delivers serums and the reagents up to 32 online reagents automatically in the testing sequence according to the computer's autoloader program. The autoloader's central processing unit CPU organizes test sequencing for 48 patient serums, calibrators and controls. Complete rotor loading is accomplished in less than 10 minutes. Random access capabilities allow for multiple tests on one or more patients simultaneously in a profile, battery or batch mode. The testing methodologies include endpoint, kinetic, initial reactions, enzyme immunoassays, biochromatic analysis and immunoturbidimetry methods. The specimens are continuously monitored up to 8 times for enzyme assays, assuring accuracy of the test results. On-board diagnostics assist in troubleshooting and problem solving. The ASCA system automatically gathers all patient information and results are presented in a total laboratory report format. Abnormal area is clearly flagged for quick scan by the physician. Offline test results of hematology, serology and urinalysis etc. can be entered into the database and the patient demographics are stated on each report. A powerful turbo IXM XT compatible 20 GB hard disk computer runs the ASCA random access chemistry system. The ASCA 40 chambered reusable rotor is constructed from high optical ultraviolet acrylic offering superior testing capabilities. With just a quick wash, rinse and overnight dry, the ASCA rotor is ready for use again for the very next day. Now coming on to dry chemistry analyzers. Eastman Kodak Company introduced the dry chemistry analyzers which do not use wet chemicals but the chemicals are incorporated into a series of thin films on a single use slide. The patient samples are permeated through the various layers on the slide and the end results are determined colorimetry. The Kodak Chem 400 analyzer performs both colorimetrically and potentiometrical reactions at the same time in any combination on a stat, routine, discrete or batch basis. Each test reaction takes place entirely within the slide so that the sample carryover and the slides are miniaturized so that they require less space for refrigerated storage. To operate the analyzer, all one has to do is load it with slide cartridges, sample cups containing patient fluid and sample tips. By pushing a button, the program is selected and followed by a sequence on the display panel. Another type is a Dimension RXL clinical chemistry system. It is a discrete random access clinical system analyzer and which uses the date flex multiple test reagent cartridges, disposable reaction cuvettes and an integrated multi-sensor technology IMT and a date quality integrated multi-sensor to provide rapid, accurate and precise test results. It is a floor model microprocessor controlled integrated instrument chemistry system that measures a variety of analytes including enzyme activities in body fluids. The important features of it are it performs tests in a random order, uses the date low cost first test reagent and the cuvette system. It uses integrated multi-sensors for electrolyte testing, performs up to 500 photometrically chemistry tests and 280 electrolyte tests per hour on serum, plasma, urine, CSF or other body fluids. It uses various sizes and styles of primary sample tubes, holds up to 44 reagent cartridges in a refrigeration system, performs automatic reagent preparation. It has 10 user programmable panel keys. It has the ability to link with a DATE analyzer to DATE data management. Now some extended features of this RXL system are the heterogeneous immunoassay module provides processing of high sensitivity chromium based heterogeneous immunoassays. The immunoassays testing requires multiple washing and incubation steps in order to gain the sensitivity and specificity required for these methods. Traditional dedicated immunoassay analyzers perform these steps in a sequential manner. Following steps are performed by an HM module. An immunoreaction in which analyte is bound to a solid phase and tagged with an enzyme. The separation or washing of the bound analyte to remove any unbound sample and the reactants. Measuring the unbound analyte via the enzyme tag. The heterogeneous module immunoassay uses consumable reaction vessels that are bulk loaded by the operator and automatically loaded on the incubation wheel as needed. All reagents of a HM module methods are contained in a flex reagent cartridge. They are loaded and have their tests remaining and on-board life tracked just like any other methods run on the Dimension RXL system. A chemistry wash is used to wash the reacted solid phase chromium dioxide free from unbound sample and unreacted reagents in the wash station. Different solutions are used to clean the sample probe, IMT probe and the reagent probe. The sample probe cleaner and the IMT probe cleaner contains sodium hypochlorite. The reagent probe cleaner or the probe cleaner contains sodium hydroxide. The various typical sequences of this heterogeneous module immunoassay are that vessels are fed as needed from a rotating feed into the vessel feed system, which orients the vessels and delivers them into the vessel transfer station. In the vessel transfer station, the vessel transfer shuttle moves them into the incubation wheel. The incubation wheels contains about 45 positions situated to allow vessels to be presented in multiple locations for loading and unloading the samples and aspiration and of the reagent addition. Chrome is added to the reaction vessel first, followed by the sample. Depending on the particular HM module, conjugate is added, followed by the sample, and the vessels are maintained at a constant temperature inside a thermally controlled ring of the incubation wheel as the sandwich of chrome, conjugate and analytes takes place. Once this sandwich has been formed, the vessels are moved onto the wash wheel for continuous processing. There are 4 main areas on the wash wheel: 2 magnetic separation stations, 2 wash stations, 2 mix stations and 1 transfer station. The bound sample and the reagent sandwich are repeatedly separated magnetically from the unbound and the free conjugate. Multiple magnets are located around the wash wheel, perform these separations as and when needed. A series of washes then takes place. This washing is performed by a pair of dual probes used for both aspiration and wash buffer delivery as needed. Once the bound sample has been washed, wash buffer is added and the vortex mixtures are used to resuspend the remaining chrome sandwich in the buffer. Substrate is added which reacts with the enzyme and the colored end product is transferred into the photometric area of the Dimension RXL system. The intensity of the end color is proportional to the analyte present. Thank you.